Actually, I am quite positive because my feeling is that the world is becoming more and more complicated. We have to take care of the future in a way that leaves a good world for our children. And to do that, I think there is a lot to do. We have a lack when we consider our infrastructure on a global scale. There is certainly a lack of maintenance and new investments, but it goes for climate changes, it goes for energy, and it goes for our environment also. So there are a lot of things to do, and at the same time I can see that a lot of engineers are retiring for the moment, and we cannot see where the new engineers are coming from. So there's really a good time ahead for engineering.
And what are your recommendations for engineering companies?
I think that engineering companies should realize the situation, and especially I'm thinking that it's very important that they focus on quality. They have to realize, or we have to realize, that engineering and engineering consultancy is actually based on trust. So they should focus on transparency, on trust, and on expertise. This is the basic elements for the future, I'm sure, for the companies. I believe that when you consider the development of societies and communities, it's very important to realize that we have limited resources, and to make the best out of the limited resources that we have. I think it's a question about being rational in your decisions. So all the political decisions, all the decisions of the government should be as rational as possible, and to create a foundation of rational decisions and proposals, I think the engineers will play an important role. I think that we can suggest to really increase the focus from the European governments on engineering and the business conditions that we are working on, because I think that already now having a new directive which will be implemented in the national legislation covering the procurement, the public procurement of engineering services based on quality criteria, which is a new thing. Earlier we had only price as a criteria. Now it's quality in a wide sense. It's the most advantageous tender that is in focus. So we see it in a more broad sense, and this is really a basis to continue building for the governments to create the best possible situation for themselves, having engineers as input to the development of society. Of course, we have to admit that the latest development of the Spanish engineering has been actually quite a terrible development. I understand that the industry of consulting engineers, as an example, has decreased 80%. And that's really, really a terrible situation, sending also a signal to the young people that you should not be interested in this profession for the future. You should not educate yourself as an engineer, because this is a bad thing. So having this in mind, I think there is a need for the Spaniards to really focus on creating a new future, a new reality about engineering, or else there will be a lot of problems for this society in future. Actually, Tecniberia has always brought a very positive contribution to EFCA. So we realize that for the moment the industry is weak, so there can be difficulties in their contribution for the time being, but seen as a historical contribution, it has been important, it has been substantial, and we really hope that Tecniberia will be back on the track quite soon again. Yes, exactly. What we are doing now from the board of EFCA is realizing that to have the right influence, we must really come together. We must stand together. We must work together. We must coordinate and collaborate. So there is an intensified focus on collaboration and coordination between EFCA and Tecniberia. So we can help each other. There are questions for engineering on a national scale. Those will be handled by Tecniberia with the support of EFCA. And there is, of course, also questions on a regional scale, I mean a European scale, and these will be handled by EFCA by the support of Tecniberia and all the other member associations. Yes, we have just had a board meeting and in EFCA, and we have been discussing the professional card or the engineering card, which is under discussion as a kind of professional identity for engineers to create an easier opportunity for engineers to work in other countries. And they have to be recognized, or their background has to be recognized by the different member states. So EFCA will follow this debate. We will influence the debate when it's necessary, and I'm sure that talking about a common market in Europe, this will be an important issue for the future.